And we're live. Hey everyone, it is your boy Kev, and welcome back to a KKS Gaming live coverage event of the Nintendo Switch reveal. Oh man, last night was cray cray. I mean, absolutely cray cray. I had to pull cray cray out of like 2015 to explain how crazy this event was last night. I mean, it was like the spirit. I was feeling the spirit of Iwata-san emanating from what was it? Kirishima. I was feeling his presence. Oh, Iwata was smiling down on all of us. Oh, yes, it was. Yes, even yo Ipoi-san was smiling too. I know an event to see, bruh. I tell you.
They
So,
brought
oh yeah, they
they
brought it.
brought everybody
They brought
out.
the A game. They dug Suda out. They were like,
Yeah,
I was like, mother. It was on the chat. I was like, motherfucker, Suda 51. They dug him out, and his translator was garbage. But anyway, we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that first. I'd like to introduce my homeboy Warren. Warren,
hey,
what's
what's
good
up?
with you? So it's not just gonna be me. I have an actual person talking to him with me. Hopefully some others will show up somewhere along the way, but it's just probably just gonna be me and Warren. So, but we're not gonna keep you long, folks. Okay, let's get started on the main thing that the big things is this thing is going to come out March the 3rd. I heard there was a lot of spark speculation that this was going to come out probably in like mid-March or
Yeah,
yeah, mid-March.
17th,
Yeah,
21st. Those are the numbers floating around because that's when they were talking about having Breath of the Wild out.
we got Breath of the Wild out, which like blew a lot of people. That was the one thing I think I tweeted that last night to all the people. I said to all those rumor tubers, like that they were talking about rumor speculation, and I was like, I said today Nintendo called y'all a lie.
Oh yeah,
All y'all was wrong.
they called Joe out. It was not great.
It was like when I said that when I heard I said I was writing everything down. I was on Periscope and I was writing everything down, and I seen it was like, okay, March. I was like, possible March 17th. It says it'll be coming out. Christian was like March 3rd. I was like, what? I almost dropped the phone on that one. I was like, what? The 3rd? Huh? The
Yeah.
beginning of the month? What? Yes, that's good. And then they dropped down the price, which I also liked because I was hoping for that 250 that sub. I was definitely claiming that sub 300 mark, and I was hoping for a 250. But it was like
Yeah.
I know they had the price accordingly, so they priced it like 299.99 because they were talking about the yen. I was like, no, don't I don't care about the yen. Talk about the thing. Talk about the price.
Yeah.
Yeah, talk about the USD. And I was like, cool. And they jumped on that price, and I was like, okay, this is nice. 299. I'm cool with this. You know, I know there was some
Well,
speculation. Yep. Go ahead.
well, I mean, that's what they were talking about. Like when it first was announced, when they first showed the thing, people were talking about 300. You know, running around, and I mean that was if it would have been sold for anything higher than that, I think it would have really put a lot of people off.
Right.
Um, but they said before from the get go they're going to sell this for a profit, at a profit,
Mm-hmm.
and with what's actually inside, the controls, which we'll get to later, it makes sense that it's that much.
That is, and I mean, it's like cost. It's like really a cost-effective system. I mean, with the Tegra, going with the NVIDIA Tegra GPU, that's like that's really pretty a smart move because you can get more bang out of the buck out of that. And even if you do have like the inevitable or an inevitable price drop down the line, it's still a competitive system,
Yeah.
and it's still a competitive system. One thing I would like to really see is like, how they have like the Switch tablet and then the dock. I
Yeah.
would like if there were like the option to buy multiple docks.
I
So
think
that
they
would.
said there was at towards the end when they were talking about pricing information. I think I saw this on Kind of Funny. When they were talking about it afterwards, they were talking about the accessories and what those were going to cost.
Mhm.
One of the last things they talked about was the dock, and I think it's going to be like $90. It's
Oh.
something really expensive.
Mm. Uh, I'm like, I I'm fine with, like, I could be fine with the one dot, but that 90 would be just like, okay, that's like, I want to have it in the living room, and then I want to take it into the bedroom with me, and then
Yeah,
that can be, or I can have it in the living room for when I like play, and I'm playing with the family or whatever. But then if I want to live stream, or I want to live stream it, or capture some game footage, which I don't know if Nintendo will let me do, because
yeah.
because Nintendo been kind of extra with that whole footage thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, charge the
No,
people
I
that
got you.
YouTube or 10%. But I mean, if I wanted to do it, then I could have a secondary dock, like that.
I
Even
got
though
you.
even though Nintendo's been kind of extra when that kind of stuff. Nintendo, you kind of extra right now with that whole thing. That is not a cool thing. But I don't want to get involved in that right now with you, even though you're wrong about that. Okay, just want to let you know that's a bullshit move. I'm just saying. But anyway, um, anyway, that's my little Nintendo rant for the day. Yeah. I think that would be a really cool. I think that would be a really cool if they did have like multiple docks, but they don't have to. But it would be cool if they did. Um, let's see. What other things? One thing we'll talk about. We talked about the price. We talked about the release date. Some of the games look nice. I mean, it's like Splatoon's there. Oh, I don't know. Did you? I know you picked. I know Isaiah talked about it. It's going to be region free. There's no region locking
Yes,
on the Switch.
which is, I mean, as a JRPG player
Oh
who
yeah,
is unabashed, getting that kind of thing, and being able to maybe find translations online or something. I don't know, just
yeah,
throw it out there.
yeah.
Would be great for just great for me personally. I
Mhm. Yeah,
but it's a step in the right direction for them. Who they've not always been the most consumer savvy um
hmm,
business, which I guess we can tell by the controller prices.
yeah.
But yeah, but it's a big deal. It means that I mean they've been trying to become more of a global company in the past couple of years, like
Yeah.
with the releases of Pokemon coming out all over the world at the same time.
Hmm.
It We started to see them move towards a, well, not that Japan gets it 6 months ahead of the US, or vice versa. It's a big deal for them. It's a big jump for them.
Hmm. Right, right. Okay, okay. Yeah, yeah. It really does feel like we're getting like good steps in the right direction when it comes to Nintendo. It's like many times it's like two steps forward, three steps back. Like they trying to tout innovation, but they really don't have like the good like multiplayer experience. I like the fact they're trying to do their Nintendo Network, their Nintendo Live, their you
Yeah.
know Switch Live. Uh,
The
I do like the fact they're going to be like, oh, we're going to charge for it, and I'm like, okay, yeah, like charge for that.
If it's something worth that people will buy. I mean, I know there's the dedicated Splatoon players who will, when Splatoon 2 comes out, they gonna
Oh
be
yeah,
on it.
oh yeah.
But the what do you call it? The incentives for getting it is to download and play an NES or Super NES game for that'll be free for the month.
Hmm.
That's not that's not getting my not tickling my balls. Um, I mean, I'm a PlayStation Live guy, so
Yeah,
I've got a Vita and I've got a PS3 and I got a PlayStation, so I get two free games on
yeah,
each of those systems
yeah.
for the month. I mean, I don't always like the games; they're not always great, but I mean, for some people that might be the perfect incentive, but to me, I, I've played all the NES and SNES games. I've gotten an emulator or two, or you know,
Yeah,
picked up a
like
Retroid.
the majority of us that have like this love of like VC and like VC and retro games.
Yeah,
Many majority of us have like the Retrocons. They have like the Wii stuff. They have all the VC stuff on the Wii or the Wii U, and they're not really looking forward to rebuying the stuff. I'm not saying they can't re-release that, and people will not still buy that again. I mean, think about how many times people buy Grand Theft Auto 5 again,
mm,
or how many times people buy, multiple indie games just to be able to play them on their different their console of choice, or on play it on the Vita, or play it on the PlayStation 4, or play it on the 3DS, or play it on the Wii.
yeah,
Being able to have that for the sheer fact of being able to play that on the go. And I kind of see the one in that, but I don't see like making that front and center and part and parcel in that stuff. Like I think that as it stands now, what they've offered is pretty awesome. Like being able to play Splatoon, on the go,
yeah,
or being able to play, or just being able to play Splatoon. And I think the only major thing that I'm 100% cool with is being able to play. And this is funny, being able to play be able to be playing Breath of the Wild, being like, crap, I gotta use the bathroom, pick it up, go in the bathroom, use the bathroom, don't lose my progress, don't miss my saves, get back up, put it back on the dock, slap the Joy Cons back in the controller, and go back to playing again. I think that's the only thing. That's the only pretty much big thing that I could see this being for me, but not so
yeah,
much like, oh crap, I gotta take this on the plane, and I gotta take this on the train, and it's gonna be like I'm gonna go to whatever. I don't really travel like that.
yeah,
I just go, and when I come back home I game, and when I go I game. When I'm at home I game, and then I don't game when I'm out. So this is pretty much it. Being like, I have to use the bathroom. Whoop, take it with me, pop it back on there. Oh, I'm gonna play it while I'm in bed. Pop it out, take it in with me, turn it off, go to bed. That kind of thing.
yeah. Well, I
It's
mean,
more
think
like
about
a
it.
yeah.
Sorry.
Go
Think
ahead.
about it for like online games.
Mhm.
Like games. I mean, games that you just can't pause. Let's say you're
Right.
playing Platoon and you've got an emergency, and you need to take a number two.
Yeah.
You can you can get up in the middle of it, and I'm sure your friends will like you, especially if you're on voice chat. But
Yeah.
it's a good thing. Also, people console. I'm not gonna touch anybody's consoles. I know
Yeah.
that right now. I ain't
Yeah.
touching nobody's console
It's
without
like,
rubber gloves and disinfectant.
I mean, really, they're gonna have to come. Really, they're gonna have to, like, when he was having, like, he showed off those straps. You really need to have like Joy-Con gloves.
Yeah,
What is it like? Here are your Joy-Con gloves. The strap links in with the glove, so that way that way you can play germ safe. And I'm like, I'm surprised. I'm surprised, I would be really shocked if nobody had made a skit about that, Funny or Die, or
oh yeah,
or
no, it's coming out.
or Achievement Hunter, that, or Rooster Teeth. Nobody has ever thought of that. Yeah, that's coming. That is coming. Me talking about it right now, it's already putting that out
Oh,
in
it's
my
in
mind.
the ether already.
It's
Also,
already there. Yeah.
dude, I used to work, used to volunteer in the ER, and I've
Mhm.
seen the things that people put in their butts. But
Yeah.
these Joy-Con controllers have Rumble Pack features too. Shit,
Yeah, and they
it's
look
gonna
surprisingly
happen.
small.
Oh, it's gonna happen so fast.
Yeah.
I feel so bad for the ER people. Like, you just put a $300 piece of equipment up your ass, dude. You,
Yeah, it's like I looked at those things. I'm like, those things look surprisingly small. Like they look pretty swallowable or insertable.
yeah,
That's what I'm saying. They look really insertable. I know at some point, during the initial cycle of Wii U, somebody, not the first Wii, that
oh yeah.
somebody was like shoving like Wiimotes up their butts. I could speak that for true.
But
I
that
could
thing
say
was
that
pretty.
as a thing.
I mean, yeah, but those were the pros. That thing's pretty big. I
Yeah.
mean,
I mean the pros, yeah, Joy Cons, definitely.
no, I meant like no. I'm talking about like those are the pros. I mean, taking a big ass Wiimote and shoving it someplace,
Hmm.
it's gonna take some work.
Yeah, it's gonna
The
take some work.
Joy-Con is a little bit smaller,
Little bit smaller, yeah, a little bit
it's more
smaller, a little bit
aerodynamic.
better. Yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm just throwing that
I,
out.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Give people time. Give people time enough. People will try to find things to put up their butts and in their mouths.
Oof.
That is the nature of things. And
Nature of the beast.
can I swallow it? Can I shove it up my nose? And can I shove it up my butt? That is the nature of things.
So fast. Um,
Ah, yeah.
we should talk about the screen though.
Oh yeah.
I'm not so happy about the 720p. I mean, I know I'm that asshole,
Right.
but I was really hoping for you just say it was 1080p. It could be 1080i, and you could lie to me.
Yeah. I
But
mean, it could be not. It could have been like 940. It could be like 940p. I think, or
yeah,
960. I think it would have been. I think nobody would. I think nobody would have complained for like a 12, a 1080 screen. Like,
no.
but yeah, they could have just lied and said, well, it's kind of nine.
Ooh.
You know, it's true 10. It's true 1080 when you plug it into the dock, but then it's
Yeah,
like a really nice 980 or no, like 960. I think it's like 960. Either
which
940 or
honestly,
960p.
honestly, if it is in the dock and it's always 1080p on all
Mhm.
games,
Yes.
that's a lot of because not Xbox can't say that to all the games. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
If all of them are 1080p,
Yes.
natively,
Yes.
then that's a bigger deal about the power, and that says a lot about the tablet itself,
That is. Yeah.
especially with
That's
tablet tech
really.
going the way it is.
Yeah. That is really something. And even if it's like a good 720, I think I'd be okay with. But it really like if you can get like native 1080p on dock, I think that's a really good. I think that would be a really good testament of the hardware of the machine.
They
I'm
should push that.
Yeah. Yeah. What is it? Oh, it's US. It has USB Type C,
Yeah.
so that's good. I think the only person that was really excited about that was Marcus Brownlee because I'm on this Twitter, and he was very excited. That was the one thing he's like, I'm not really a gamer, but you know what I'm really excited about. USB Type C because he's always like clamoring about US Type C. USB Type C is going to be the latest and greatest things to slice bread, and we should all like. Why didn't Apple just become USB Type C? Why they had to have Lightning? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I mean, that's great, and it's gonna be that's why it's gonna be like almost instantaneous when it gets plugged on the dock because of
Yeah.
USB Type C. So it just plops down on the dock with USB Type C, which is like 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 instantaneous. If you've ever used anything USB Type C, it is quick as hell.
Can't say that I have, but I will. That sounds pretty cool, though. If it's literally, I put it in the dock and it appears on my television, that's
Mhm.
that's awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome. So that is pretty cool to me. Battery life. I was kind of
Yeah.
surprised about battery life. Like two 2 to 6 hours of battery life.
They said 2.5, and then oddly on 2.5 to 6 hours was what they said, which is really weird. But I guess we're dealing with a tablet here, so weird. The time things, the battery life things are going to be iffy. But
Yeah,
if it's if it's like 2.5 on like a big game like Splatoon 2, and it's 6 on like something like a VC, like an 8-bit thing.
yeah,
Um, it's gonna change. That's gonna be a thing. That'll be a sticking point. Um, just because battery life is really important for any kind. I know it's supposed to be a hybrid console, and they've been really pushing the fact that it's a hybrid console.
hmm
But I would have loved more portability. Portability. Hmm.
yeah, yeah. I could see it. I could see that. You know, I could definitely see. You know, because they were like, because I think they were more focusing more on the dock side, and
Yeah.
then that tabletop mode that they're talking about, where it's like you can just like hit the kickstand, which any console that has a kickstand in it is like immediately a up game to me. Anything with a kickstand on it, perfect, perfect for me. Um, this would be kind of cool. Just like pop it out of a bag and like set it on the table, and then like have two Joy Cons and like thing. Imagine being in Zaxby's and having like a full game of Mario Kart. You know,
Oh yeah.
while you're eating Zax sauce and eating wings and Zax sauce. I mean, this thing's gonna be popping up a lot of places that we didn't think was gonna pop up in places. I mean, bump that whole like that first reveal thing where everybody's like, we're out in the park at night. We play basketball and we're gonna play 2K NBA 2K in the park. No, it's gonna be in
Mhm.
we're gonna be on a rooftop and we're at a party and we're gonna play this. No, it's going to be in libraries. It's going to be in
Coffee shops.
coffee shops, fast food restaurants, and
Oh yeah.
like people's back porches, and that's it's a
Yeah.
little bit,
Let me tell
yeah,
you.
that's about it. And like maybe and like yeah, and definitely it's going to be at school. It's going to be at school. Like
If
they're going to be like so many
yeah.
confiscated switches now.
Oh yeah, in high schools, but
Yeah, in
it's
high
like
school. Yeah, in high schools.
high
Yeah.
schools. I mean, you can't confiscate it at college. You can sit there and play your game in the
Oh,
middle of a class.
I don't wish.
And
Oh yeah, 'cause I remember those old days when I just bring my my PlayStation 1, and I would just like we would have like I'd bring like my PlayStation 1 with the screen, and I bring Street Fighter Alpha 3, and we'd have Alpha 3 tournaments just
yeah,
in the college game room, and I was like, yep,
you
that
heard
was that was lit.
you
Mm.
heard about the local connectivity with this thing? 8 switches can talk to each other at the same time.
Oh,
8 switches
that's
plus the ability of the Joy-Cons. If I mean we're talking about like Mario Kart, you could
yeah,
literally have 16 people playing Mario Kart at the same time
yeah, in local.
in local.
Like two split screen, two split screen, two split screen, two split
That is fucking sexy.
that is hella sexy. I'm like
That's
the more I'm
beautiful.
talking about it, the more I'm like trying to justify like how much like I should be one of the people that jump into the pre-order madness.
I would have loved to, but I was already passed out by the time like Amazon decided to put it out like 4 hours after the thing, and I was like, "Fuck you guys!"
No, they should
Everyone else was
no.
gone to sleep.
I mean, everybody was prepared for it, but I'm like, nobody's gonna be able to pre-order this thing, after the event. Screw that. They should have like made pre-order days, like say
Yeah,
let's talk to every retailer and say this day is the pre-order day, and then no more pre-orders, and then these people get like staged pre-orders because
yeah,
but I mean this is Nintendo. Nintendo's not going to do this. But if your product is that awesome, you don't go through it. And I wanted to talk about this since we're on pre-orders. Um, I wanted to talk. I was at GameStop, and I'm pretty cool with the GameStop, my local GameStop,
yeah,
because I used to work next door to that GameStop, and I went to the shop, and we used to provide them snacks all the time. And I went in there and I talked to the manager guy, and he was like, basically, I was like, so the topic of the Switch came up, and he was like, I don't care what corporate has in mind. I don't care what anybody has says. It's going to be one. It's going to be one pre-order per customer. I am not for the mandate. I don't care what management says. It's going to be one Switch per customer because I'm not going to be there. I'm not going to be there and be giving people like selling people like 5 or 6 switches.
wow,
No, because yeah, he was literally putting his foot down. He was like, no, one per customer. I don't care because of freaking resellers.
yeah,
Because get bad because it was terrible during the time of the NES Classic, where it was like a $60 console, a $60 toy console being sold for like upwards of $200, $300 on eBay and Amazon. And I wag my finger at Amazon. I know eBay has no choice, but Amazon should know freaking better, because it's like, people are scalping. Just invalidate them joints. Just be like, no. Retail, you can go $30 up a retail. You can go 99, but you can't go no more than that. Somebody be adult enough and stop, and think about the bottom line and say no.
Well,
No, we're not gonna do it.
Oh, they get too much money from the scalpers. That's the thing.
Yeah, I can understand eBay, because eBay is just like the Wild West of online shopping. But come on, Amazon, you know better. You need to set this. If you do it, others will set the standard to do it. Take a stand. Be a man, Amazon. Be a man, woman, whichever you are. Be an adult, and for once in your life, do something that is actually nice for people instead of thinking about your wallets. Okay, I'm sorry about that, y'all. That's my Amazon rant for that one. So I'm sorry about that.
Anyway.
But I had to get that one off my chest. But yeah, the pre-orders, tablet, Nintendo, do pre-order days. Don't do this like, just open up the floodgates and then be surprised when this is a big deal. Like, oh my God, people actually want a console and they want to actually give us money. What? But
I hope to God they've made more than 12 million already.
Yeah.
They need to at least have, because I mean they've institutionally made a console that's going to be taking we know now, taking the Pokemon name as well, as so it's pretty much taken over their mobile network and their home console network. So they need to have at least looked at what the sales of both of those things are combined, and then maybe add a couple 5 or 6 million to it.
Right.
But this is Nintendo, so
it's Nintendo. It's just like they go to like the Jimmies. They go on the Jimmies, and they tout it up, and they make people want it, and they sell it to not just hardcore gamers, but they sell it to grandmas and my mom and aunts and uncles and people that don't really play video games, and people who don't really care, and they just or they've never played a video game since Pong or Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man in the 80s. And they make them care about it, and they make it fun, and they make it engaging, and they make it like interesting for moms and dads and uncles and Aunt Susies to play. And then all of a sudden, when it's like the fervor is at its like crescendo, then all of a sudden they're like, oh crap, we need to make these.
Yeah, we kind of forgot that part.
We forgot that part. We were so good at selling them, we didn't really. We were good. We were great on marketing. Couldn't sell it. couldn't make them fast enough. That's the supply part. You got Miyamoto and Inafune and Kirishima and Suda51, and they're all like, yeah, and then you got to sell it. And it's like, you got to sell it. Yeah. So speaking of big titles and games, Super Mario Odyssey looks amazing. That's my game that I'm kind of excited for. I like Breath of the Wild, but we're gonna get more into Breath of the Wild. But that was the game that really made me like, okay, I like this. This does not look like Mario levels. These look like
they look like Lego levels.
Yeah, they look like Lego levels. I thought that was the new Lego game. When I seen like, oh, this city, I was like, oh, this must be the Lego. This might be a new Lego game. And then when I see Mario pop out, I was like, what the hell?
No, like it didn't function for me at first. I was like, this city looks really familiar. Like I've seen it in video games all the time. Oh my God, that's fucking New York.
Yeah, it's New York. I was like, oh wow, it's New York.
They put Mario in New York. I was like, shit.
It's call it New Donk City.
Wow. They really outdone themselves. It looks beautiful.
Yeah, it does. It
I
really
mean,
does.
not that Mario. I mean, Mario games always look great, but this looks like if this is as good as it looks, this will be the new Mario Galaxy.
Yeah, I had a very good Mario Galaxy vibe to it. And then I was like, oh, this is really cool. I seen the levels are good. And I'm like, they're just tooling around a lot of levels. I'm like, that looks a lot wider than even Galaxy levels. And I'm like, these just like walking around the forest and walking around the desert and like tooling around the city. I'm like, that looks weird. That's like weird for like Galaxy like levels. And then it hit me. It said they hit me with those three words, Mario Sandbox game. And then I lost my
Yeah.
shit. And I was like, oh no. so it's So it's like,
No.
oh, you can explore these levels, you can explore levels, I guess, find collectibles, and another thing what I thought about, it was like, oh my god, Mario, it looks, it kind of has that. I don't know if you picked up on it too. It kind of has like an Assassin's Creed vibe,
Yeah.
because it was like he was just tooling around the city and he was like jumping off of rooftops and stuff, and I was like, and then he like jumped off the city. It was like, oh, the leap of faith.
I
He just jumped off
I
the
think
thing like, whoa!
yeah. No, it was beautiful, and
It was very
I mean
beautiful. It was
it's
very
Mario,
beautiful.
so no fall damage. But it's got verticality, which I think is missing in a lot of modern games or
Yeah.
games period,
Hmm.
because they spend so much time on the open world aspects of the game, they don't ever
Right.
actually build up, and a lot of times, taking that away kind of loses a bit of the what do you call it, the feeling of being inside it. What is it? Um,
Immersibility.
yes, immersiveness,
Immersively, yeah, immersion. Immersion. Yeah, immersion.
immersion. That's the word.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm bad with words right
I
now.
I created a word and then it was like and then I came up with the actual word, immersibility.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we are great thinkers here, aren't we?
Yes.
But no, it looks stunning.
It really does.
I'm not a huge Mario guy, which it makes me the odd person to have loved Nintendo consoles for so long. But just because platforms are not my thing. But
Yeah.
the look of it makes me want to at least get hands on and try it out and feel it. It might be I might actually pick it up and play it like I did with Sunshine,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I played a lot of Sunshine.
Yeah, I loved Mario for a long time, and I have been a Mario fan for a very long time. I haven't really been a Zelda fan since like Link to the Past, and then because
Mhm.
I played all the Zelda games, but I haven't been like a really big fan of Zelda since Link to the Past and Link Between Worlds, because it had that whole Link
Mhm.
to the Past vibe to it, that top down over slightly kiltered way of like accessing the world. I love that.
Mhm.
And but I think Breath of the Wild, but we're gonna get to Breath of the Wild soon. But I think this new one really is gonna reinvigorate my love of Zelda again, because I'm like, oh, this looks nice. This looks really cool. But yeah, um,
What did they show though? I think first thing they showed was 1-2 Switch.
yeah, one to Switch. I immediately looked at it and I was like, oh, Switch Sports, nice.
Yeah, it's pretty much Wii Sports. It's pretty
Yeah,
much, hey, here's your tutorial on how to use the Switch, and these are the things that it can do.
yeah, it's a wonderful tech demo of its capabilities, but that's about it.
It's not coming with the game. It's not coming with the console though, which
I I really think that it should come with a console, because if they do not, that is going to be a problem, because I do not think people will pay money for this.
so far it isn't. I mean, it they'll sell it to all the people who buy day one, and they realize that they're not going to just play Zelda the entire time, so
Yeah,
they got to pick up something else. But no, it looks like WarioWare Inc., but with Switch controllers.
yeah,
Which, why didn't they just do WarioWare Inc.?
yeah. Hmm. I'm
Ugh.
I'm hoping that it's like a pack in, like it's not being sold, but then it's like a downloadable thing.
As far as I've heard, It's not coming with any of the consoles.
Uh,
There's not a bundle set up.
that's a problem. Cause yeah, yeah, cause if they didn't give it to me, I probably would not buy it.
Yeah, see, it sounds. I mean, it could sell maybe 2-3 million, but that's pushing it.
Yeah, that's about it. It's like, oh, this is awesome for like 2 weeks, and then it's like, nope.
If you have someone, it's going to be that game that moms get for their kids because they, you know, they
Yeah,
wanted to get it and they bought it for them, and then they realized they don't have any games that they can both play together.
yeah, I can see that. Yeah, yeah, I can see that. That's cool. Another game that I thought was kind of interesting, Arms. I hope that's just a working title. I hope that's not the actual name of the game.
It is Nintendo.
I mean, it's
We're talking
Nintendo.
about Nintendo.
I know it's Nintendo, but it's still like when I
Ah,
seen the name of that, I was like, oh, that's pretty okay. What's going on? At first, I seen like it was like a salary man comes out, and then all of a sudden a schoolgirl comes out, and I'm like, okay, I don't know where this is going, but this is probably not good.
probably not a
It's not
not,
good.
not
Yes,
great.
yeah, probably
Yeah,
not great. This is not going to end well. And then all of a sudden, the arms came out, and I was like, I did not see that coming. Like the spongy, like the springy arms came out. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not seeing where this is going. And then all of a sudden, they went to like the characters, and I was like, yep, nope, didn't see it coming. And then I seen arms, and I was like, okay.
mm,
But yeah, the game overall looks pretty cool. Like
yes.
it,
It's sorry.
no, I'm just saying it's got that really nice like colorful, wonderful 101 vibe to it
Yes.
that I love from Nintendo, where it's like, oh, these games are really colorful and bright and well animated. Yeah, I want more of this. And then to see them actually play it, I was like, okay, I can kind of see this. I kind of see this as a thing. It also had like a bit of a vibe of I don't know if you remember this, a custom Robo for the
Oh,
GameCube.
you just said the most magical words that has ever been said on a
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, sorry.
no, go ahead.
Um, well, no, it looks great, and
Yeah,
I hope it's a little bit deeper than what we have just seen,
yeah,
because if not, it's going to be Wii boxing with a dash or a jump.
yeah,
But it looks pretty. I mean, that's what I
yeah.
can say about these Switch games. They all look gorgeous.
They really do. They really do. I'm very impressed in what they've offered graphically, but it just has that like lovable, colorful Nintendo spin on it of just like you don't really understand it. You like how it looks, but it's like, okay.
Like I know they're going to be a trophy in the new Smash Brothers. One of them is going to be one of the trophies that comes to life and jumps on
Yeah,
screen and shoots a couple arms.
it,
I
yeah.
think
If that, yeah, if it's not a tag trophy, if it's not a trophy, it's probably like either maybe DLC, like what was it, like Ribbon Girl and Spring Man, something like that. I can,
yeah,
I can kind of see them. I can kind of see them either being like assist trophies or like full on characters or DLC characters. Because I mean, if Cloud is in Smash Bros. I think they could be in there. It could be in there easily. But you never know. You never know.
yeah. But with Cloud, they're kind of they were nodding their hat to having the seventh remake. I think is coming to the Switch too, which they didn't say anything about on the direct, which I'm kind of sad about. But
Yeah,
I mean, if it's good and it comes out on the Switch, I might buy it over the Switch over the PlayStation.
yeah, it's true. It could, it's a possibility. I think so another thing I saw was amiibo support. They're continuing amiibo support. So
Which
nobody so nobody throw out the amiibos just yet.
I don't think anyone honestly was. I only have three myself, honestly, but
uh,
they're kind of some of my favorite characters. I've got a Mew, a
Uh-huh.
Ness, and a Toad.
Uh-huh.
Um, the fact that they're continuing Amiibo sport, which is what has been getting them a lot of money in the past couple of months,
Hmm.
is it's really smart.
That was
Over.
that was that was that was an infusion of funds that Nintendo needed, you know, pretty
Yeah.
badly. Like that was something that was like I'm not yeah, I don't I think that pretty much like turned the corner for it. And then it actually built up a lot more uh I guess more excitement to the brand because you can buy the figures and the figures have function, especially with Smash Bros. I think amiibos and Smash Brothers really like set the tone like for thing
Yeah.
for being able to like train like you have like amiibo characters and train them up and then like okay now I can pit my Mario against your Mario and see if our Marios see which one of our Marios work or I mean which one of our Marios win. I like that. I really like that kind of stuff because that's like that taps into the old Pokemon Red kid that grew up
Yeah.
with like pitting like being able wanting to pit my whatever against your whatever in a battle like old Digimon back in the day. Like yeah, from Pokemon
I'm hope
Digimon Kid, yes, that works for me.
I'm hoping they continue to expand Amiibos and get a lot more involvement in games. It needs to be more than just a skin or a boost or something that appears in the game. It needs to be a little bit more involved than that because for what they're charging for them, which I mean people are obviously willing to buy, but it needs to be a bit more than that.
Yeah, I get you. I get you though. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get that. I get. I got like gotta make it. Gotta make that money. Gotta make that money. Gotta get them figures out. Sell more than bad boys out. Sell new ones. Get that get that ring girl with that ribbon girl and that spring guy one. So you gotta get those amiibos together. They gotta make them. Gotta make new Splatoon 2 characters. You gotta make them. That's awesome. That's nice. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, give me that. Give me that. What else? What else? What else? What else
So
they
let's talk
have?
about the storage.
Oh, yeah. What's that
It's
storage
got
looking like? They didn't really talk about that in the reveal, but
32 gigabytes internal memory
okay.
plus micro SDXC cards. So I don't know exactly what that means, but I think that they're SD cards that you can put in. If they're just regular run of the mill SD cards that you can buy that are like um, you know, huge ones that are like, you know, 100, 300, 400 gigs
Yeah,
on a SD card and you can pop that in, never have to
yeah,
buy another one again.
yeah,
That would be amazing.
yeah. I'm agree. I agree with that. I think that I think that needs to be. I think as long as they don't try to do that whole proprietary joint
Oh,
out, you
not
know,
again.
yeah, not that proprietary shit again. No, but
Which caused me to
yeah. But if they just do like open it up and just be like, oh, you can buy these or this or that, yeah, I think I can see that. I can see that working out a lot better for them. And the 32 is not bad,
no
but in this like, but and for the size, it's not bad. But for this,
gaming generation,
for this current generation, 32 is like a drop in the bucket.
especially with the patches that come with modern games now.
Yeah, them like
We're
them
talking,
patches. Yeah, them patches warrant a 500 gigabyte just to be just as a cushion for the like a buffer for the patches.
yeah, because they're cartridges, which is amazing.
Yeah,
Um, they're not gonna be pulling most of the data off the 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 game itself. They'll just be running it through. But unless those cartridges have a little space extra for patches, everyone's gonna need a powerful SD card.
yeah, I agree. And
Um,
I know SanDisk can be places like SanDisk and PNY can can make them and that can have them, and I've got some pretty fast SSDs, not SSDs, SD cards. So I think it's possible you can get like good ones for cheap. I think it can work.
Yeah.
I think it can make that work. So they can Nintendo can make some branded ones, but I don't think they
I
need to
think
make proprietary systems.
that would be a waste of manufacturing time, honestly. I
Yeah,
mean,
I get that.
you could trick the mom that doesn't know what she's talking about or grabbing something for a kid, but you can't trick anyone who's been into gaming or knows anything about tech
Yeah, the
whatsoever to buying a Nintendo proprietary, not a proprietary card, but a Nintendo based SD card.
yeah the hardcore power user is will just go to Newegg and just get what they need. It's not really that big a deal, you know. That's what I say. They could make a couple, be like for the mom and pops, but then be like secretly to the buyers, you don't really need to buy these. We can just show you a list of which ones you want. That's why I like what Sony does. Sony just like you could just use these, and
Yeah.
these, here's a few brands we like. You can get these, and other than that, you're good.
Um, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which
Yes,
I'm really happy. Oh my god, when they showed that, they were like, "Oh my god, this is for me. This
yes.
is for me." And
You Yeah, you're like RPGs. There you go, Warren.
yes, they had a little RPG corner, which was great. New Shin Megami Tensei,
Yeah,
um, big deal. I was hoping for it to be one of the other main ones because, as much as I love Shin Megami Tensei, the core series isn't as fun as Digital Devil Saga or Nocturne or any of the other side
mhm,
ones. If
yeah,
if they showed Persona 5 coming out on a Switch, I might have to have canceled my order on Persona 5 or at least done some rethinking
no.
because
I was like,
portable P5 would be fucking insane.
yeah, yeah, no, that's not gonna happen because Sony's got Persona on lock.
Oh no, would you
They,
let it go?
no, Sony's like,
No,
no.
no, no, you can't have that shit. What are you talking about?
It's like no, they have to serve. It's like no, because they're a Japanese company too, and they're like, no, that's how we make. That's pretty much how we're gonna make some money.
Yes, no, P5 is.
United, yeah, P5 staying. Bump you. You take
Uh,
you take Digital Devil Saga. We'll take Persona. Thank you very much. There's enough shit. There's enough SMT to share, bruh. Okay.
it's fucking Atlas, and they'll make 100 games out of
Yeah,
one franchise. That Shin Megami
yeah,
Tensei franchise is huge.
yeah. And then Atlas is like, chill, baby. We got enough Shin Megami for everybody.
We can spread that shit around. Everyone gets them. It's a thing. Um,
Yeah.
Fire
Everybody gets some
Emblem.
Shin Megami love. Yeah.
Sorry. Fire Emblem Warriors, which I thought was a straight up Fire Emblem game until I looked online and everyone was like, "Oh no, it's a Dynasty Warriors esque, um, Dragon Quest Heroes kind of thing."
Yeah.
And to be fucking honest, thank God that came to Fire Emblem because they have the characters for that shit.
Yeah. Fire Emblem has
Not
oh like
yeah,
like
well, they have shit ton of characters.
yeah, Fire Emblem has tons of characters. Like you can point to like 3 games and be like, okay, let's go 3 games, and these 3 games are gonna at least 200 characters.
Yes, you've got enough
Yes.
for at least 3 fighting games,
Yeah.
and then some. Some. I'm so happy for this. I haven't. I mean,
Yes.
these are just story trailers, so we haven't seen it in action.
Right.
But it is. Is this the right direction for Nintendo to be going?
Yeah. You.
Um,
Yeah. You give me Crom from Awakening. You give me Marth. You give me Marth, Crom from Awakening, and God, what's his name?
Which one?
I've been playing from the new one, Birthright.
I haven't played Birthright.
What's that guy?
Hell yeah,
I know.
Rock.
I love that guy, but I know that guy. You give me. God, I forgot his name. He's the older brother in the game. I can't remember his name.
Okay, look it up.
He's the main guy. He's the Asian. He's the Asian guy who's fighting the European guy on the horseback. That guy. That guy is
Yeah.
lit. Yeah, that guy. I think it's like Ryoga. That's his name, Ryoga. Give me Ryoga, and
Hey man, we back?
okay, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. What happened?
Oh my god, what happened? That was crazy. My video call had ended, but it reset, so we were good. Okay, we're good.
Okay. But yes.
Damn you, technology. But anyway, yes.
Um, Heroes. It's gonna be fun. And the last thing was the new uh, sorry, add here, Octopath Traveler, which my fucking god, Square, I'm going to fucking kill you with these goddamn names.
I'm like, yeah, it's like Bravely Default. Yeah.
No, this is 10 times worse than Bravely Default. Bravely Default.
Yeah.
Octopath
It's
Traveler.
Like Octopath Traveler.
Ugh. I was like, oh god, you guys. Like,
it's like we all kept throwing out random like stuff like, is it sagas? No. Is it secrets? No. Is it Final Fantasy? No. I thought it was like a Final Fantasy homage, like Final Fantasy blah 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 blah. Because it had those sprites and that battle system. I was like, oh okay. I think they're gonna make a
world of Final Fantasy-esque type thing.
Yeah.
But my god, does this thing look brilliant?
Yeah, it really does. It's like
I'm one of those unfortunate gamers that's kind of like, well, we got out of the 8 and 16-bit eras, so I'm never looking back again. But this looks fucking phenomenal. I mean, just the dynamic lighting, the character design.
Yeah. I think it's like hand drawn backgrounds.
Yes.
You know, interacting with like 16-bit sprites. I'm like, yes.
And they showed it moving, which is a big deal for this presentation. It's I mean, some of the stuff a lot of the stuff they showed that just wasn't moving, but this was moving and it was here and it worked.
Right.
I am so happy.
Yeah, I'm hella stoked about it. I'm really stoked about it. I'd like to see more of this because, you know, I'm loving Square. Like I love the first Bravely Default. I want to see more of it. I'm kind of excited about Dragon Age 8 coming out for the 3DS. You know, I'm really wanting to see more stuff from Square. You know.
Sorry. Speaking of Dragon Quest, they said 10 and 11 were coming out in Japan, but they didn't say anything about it coming in the US. What's going on there, guys?
It's coming. It's coming. You know, Dragon Quest is always a big deal in Japan. Always. Like they bring like businesses closed. They treat it like a national holiday. Dragon Quest. When Dragon Quest game comes out, they pretty much just close up and just like nobody's gonna come to work for at least a day. Because you know they treat it like a holiday, and because it's a big deal. It's a big deal, and yeah, I feel like they'll trickle over to America. You know, hopefully they will. They probably will. Because I mean, if we get another Xenoblade, we're gonna get another thing. Because at first, like the first Xenoblade, they were very scared that it was going to do well in the West. They were very scared about that. They released it in one chain and they released it in GameStop. They were controlled copies. They were very scared about it. And then when it excelled Then they just released Xenoblade. What was it? Chronicles X. Wii
Yes.
U. Yeah, they just released. They just kicked that out. Like, okay, here, have it. Because
Without any fanfare, which was kind of disappointing.
I know that was so like how ginger they were with the first Xenoblade, and then it was just like, okay, they made a deal about it. They made they made a lot of coverage about the first one, kicked it out. Then they were like Xenoblade Chronicles X came out. Then the 3DS version of the first Xenoblade Chronicles.
Yes.
They brought that out. They brought that with more fanfare. That was like almost like a launch for like the new 3DS,
which they also hadn't supported. So
they didn't really care much about it either.
Which come on, guys.
Yeah, another. Oh, I think we have. I'm gonna make this real quick. I think I have time for another Nintendo rant. Nintendo, the new 3DS, and see, I could deal with the whole new 3DS. I know you want me to buy that, but what really irks me is that the fact you make all the games that I want to play on a 3DS, you make it only accessible with the new 3DS. And I'm not saying that you don't want to sell new 3DS, that's fine. But you took a weird stand on VC by making me want to pay $200 to spend $8 to play Earthbound on a handheld. Yeah. That is the stupidest thing that I've heard you've done. And you took a weird stand on that. I'm like, yeah, I probably should be playing, Xenoblade on my 2DS. That's it. That's whatever. I probably am not going to play a Monster Hunter game, whatever, on 3DS. But I would like to be able to play Earthbound, and you make it hard for me to do so. So, yeah, screw you, Nintendo. And that was my last rant. My last rant. I'm sorry. Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. I think we pretty much cover everything. We covered. I know we didn't. Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. I kind of wanted to run through real quick through the stuff that they showed at that last sizzle reel.
Yes.
Really quickly, Minecraft Story Mode, Rayman Legends Definitive Edition, Has Been Heroes, Project Sonic 2017, I Am Setsuna, Skyland Imagineers, Nobunaga's Ambition Sphere of Influence with Power Up Kit. Fucking hey. Puyo Puyo, Tetris S, Disgaea 5, which is fucking awesome.
Yes.
Mina de YY, Spelunker, Sagush. It's not coming in America. I'm pretty sure, guys. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, Farming Simulator.
Rod's gonna be lit by that.
Spelunker Sagushi 13 with Power Up Kit. Fucking hey. You guys gotta name shit differently, I swear.
Yeah.
But it's a good number of games. I would have liked a bit more. But go with what you're saying, man.
Yeah. I think before we really start talking about the game of the hour, the Tower of Power, that is Breath of the Wild. I'll probably say that for last. The things that let's talk about the weird shit that was Nintendo, because again, this is Nintendo. Nintendo has to do something weird where it's like, puppet, puppet create, like puppet president. I call it puppet presidents, like Puppet Iwata and Puppet Fizame and Puppet Miyamoto, and then they become Puppet Star Fox characters, and they have to do weird shit. And I want to talk about some of the weirdness that had happened. Shibata? Yeah, not Shibata. No, Shibata's president of Europe. Shibata was like, I don't need no translator. I will say it in my broken English. Ooh. I will finish it. And that was kind of some rough English, but it was kind of good. And in Shibata's face was like I don't want to be here, but I need to be here. I've been mandated by Kirishima-san to say this, but I don't really need to. I just go ahead and say it. I'm practicing my English anyway, so I just had to get it out. Fizame, the cringe, like Suda 51's translator, That
Mm,
oh man, that
poor
guy.
guy.
That guy did not have the best cue. Like somebody probably was like he was probably sitting there checking his messages, and somebody was like, psst, psst, "Hey, you're on. Start talking." And it, like he started talking, but he missed his place during the translation, and he was like slow, and like Suda was like
Ooh.
halfway through it, and oh, it was like I was like, and all I seen when I was watching it on Twitch, and all I could see was like the translator was getting fired, 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 fired.
Oh,
Translate,
all of the
yeah,
translators have got fired.
yeah,
The whole. The first guy was horrible.
yeah. He was horrible.
He
Yeah,
wanted to die so badly.
I was like,
Like,
he's like they're gonna make him do seppuku.
holy shit!
It was so rough. It was like so bad. I was like, oh. And then when they got to the FIFA guy, Bill Trennan did the translation, and it was awesome. Bill Trennan is a boss. Bill Trennan, yeah. And for those who is not aware, Bill Trennan is president of Nintendo Treehouse, which they do like the Animal Crossing stuff and the Yoshi stuff, and
They do
yeah,
translation for all the games. They
yeah,
decide what goes
yeah,
in and what doesn't.
yeah, what goes out, and he crushed it in his like in his uh in his translation of it, and I was like, dude, Bill Trennan, you are a boss. Like Bill Trennan is funny anyway, because
Yeah.
Bill Trennan usually does the direct stuff with Reggie, but it that stuff was like when you see like you can see like this see this guy Jin just like and but
Oh
still
yeah.
had that Bill Trennan voice.
No, he kept up. That was he knew his shit.
He was cool with it. I was like, Bill Trennan is a boss. He translates everybody. I'm like, I was surprised that Bill Trennan just didn't do all the translations himself. Like
Probably because they don't pay him enough. Think about paying him for an hour to do translations,
it's
or
like it's like we're not paying you,
for
we're not paying you, Bill, but I'm good. No, we're gonna pay you one time, Bill. That's it. You translate too much. You've over your translating hours. I was like, that was cool. Oh, and the cringe. What about Splatoon 2 guy?
oh
Ooh,
oh
ooh, the cringe. Ooh,
Squid
ooh.
Factory. It's like the translator was like, Squid Factory. Um,
Yeah, and it was like
scientific.
scientific scientific
Oh
research, and then it was like then he had to do that Splatoon 2, and he did it once, and then it was fun, and then he did it again, and I hear Isaiah in the chat. It's like, wait a minute, he did that on purpose. It was like, no, he didn't do. He was supposed to do that. It wasn't like no, oh, he was just doing it off the cuff. No, somebody wrote for him to do that.
yes, it was Peggle 2 all over again, and
It was up there. It was up there with like Ridge Racer and Giant Enemy Crash of like the cringe and like. Ugh.
so bad.
That was I mean, so the even though we had like a lot of like really cool moments, we had some cringiness. um I liked the other guy, well, the guy that was talking more about the Joy Cons. He was really breaking down the Joy Con stuff. I liked him. I thought he was actually kind of cool. He had that like he was like Iwata. He was like Iwata light.
Yeah.
So he was likable enough, and he was like kind of cool enough the way he can like hang with it. He's like Iwata if you went back in the 80s and met Iwata from the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a cooler Iwata.
He was very yeah, no, he's very like those controllers are like fucking magic,
Yeah,
honestly. They've got cameras built in,
yeah.
haptic feedback,
Hmm.
um, share buttons which are normal.
Yeah.
Amiibo stuff shit, those things are they're probably the most aggressively designed controllers in gaming history.
Yes, they
They
really are.
they've topped the stream controller, like
Yeah,
heads over. It's I mean it's Nintendo. If they're gonna do something, they fucking do it.
yeah, they do that. Like they spend time. They get the play. That's why I give them all the props for like the Wii, the Wii U, even the Wii U, because
Yeah,
even as janky as kind of the Wii U was, it was still kind of revolutionary. Like having this like tablet in our hands where we can kind of interact with, and like you can look at stuff on the screen, and you can look at stuff on the other screen, and you can kind of play some games with it, off screen. And I mean that was still nice, but
yeah.
it just didn't work for them too well in the long run. And they
Too
took
little
that.
better.
Yeah, it was too much. So they fixed it, and then they made it into what the Switch is, and the Switch is actually works. I think I don't know if you'll probably get the message of it, but it feels like the difference between Windows Vista and Windows 7, where it's
Yeah,
like Vista feels like a prototype to 7, and 7 feels like the actual what Vista was trying to do but couldn't.
yeah.
And then once
It,
they got 7 down, it was like, yes, we're good now. We figured it out.
Eight. Let's hope this doesn't go to 8
Yeah, I hope it doesn't go to 8 again. Like they
or
shit the bed at
9
8.
or 10.
No,
It gets worse.
they went for 8.1. Was I think 8.1 was supposed to be 9. Then they said screw 9. We're going to 10.
I think
And
9
then
was only for
10.
the phones, actually.
Yeah, yeah. 9 was okay. 9 was for the phones.
Yes.
Uh,
Ugh. It was not a great look.
like yeah, that's probably why nobody paid attention to it, because it was for the phones. I'm like, oh, where did 9 go for the phones? Phones? They're phones? I thought it was just iOS and Android. Let's just get started with that. It's
Mm.
like I kind of feel bad for Nokia, because they were like, we picked Windows, like Sony Ericsson and Nokia. They were like, we doubled down with Windows, and it didn't work out too well.
No, certainly not.
And I'm like, yeah, next one, Android. Learned our lesson.
Yeah.
uh, yeah. Sorry, y'all. That's the mobile phone portion of the podcast.
Yeah. I think we've hit them. Okay.
Yeah, we had
Hit it
some of
all.
the rants, we had some of the cringe, and then we had some of the we had the anal portion of the podcast, and then we
Yeah.
had the and then we had that was enough.
Something else. We
Yeah,
are.
yeah. All right. Now we I think we've covered a lot of ground. Let's go ahead and get into the big boy, the one that kind of that ended the show. So this will end our show. The thing that I think Full was responsible for giving Isaiah pretty much a lot of heart attacks. I wish Isaiah was here, because
Yeah.
this would have been like his time to shine, because we've really been clowning Isaiah in his reaction. Because geez. Because it's like he was giving him multiple heart attacks and multiple orgasms. But that was like awesome. How that thing played out. It was such a great trailer. It was a really good trailer. That was one of the best trailers to this game that I have seen in a long time. To this game that I've seen since they started talking about this game.
It's. I mean, we already know it's gorgeous. It's.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. But it was more of what we already knew. It was more gorgeous. But I think they really touted up more characters now of other
Yes.
people that's going to be in the game. And there was some notable ones I really liked. I think it's like he looks like the Moblin King. I like the look of him. I like that asshole bird guy. I like him.
The shark things.
The shark things look
Weird
like
shark things.
yeah, that Chief Gorin, like, oh, that Gorin Chief.
Yeah.
That guy looked awesome. The shark people, they look Was it fish people in Ocarina of
It
Time?
could have been. You were talking
The
to the wrong
Zo-
guy, unfortunately.
the Zoras. The Zoras. I remember the Zoras. They look a lot. I like them. I like their design over the Zoras. I think they might be a companion race to the Zoras, like a
Yeah.
neighboring race to Zoras. 'Cause I think Zoras and Gorons have always been in like Zelda games. Since Ocarina. So I like the leaf face people from what was it? Star. I think it was Skyward Sword. They were introduced to Skyward Sword. They were cool to see. I like to look at them. I love the landscapes.
Yeah.
Like this.
When it first came up, I had no idea what it was. Like it didn't look like Zelda. The first thing they showed us was like
Mhm,
this coast and
mhm,
the beautiful water, and it
mhm,
didn't look like Zelda.
mhm.
None of it didn't have the same kind of cartooniness that Zelda has.
Right.
It was much more realistic, and I'm really starting to like this. I really like the look of it. I mean, I've been in love with it since they've shown it, honestly, because you give me armor ratings and loots, I am all over that shit.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. There's different weapons. There's different weapon loadouts. I love that. Like you can steal moblin weapons and use them against other moblins. You can use arrows. It's both there's no like hearts. You have to cook, and you have to cook meals and gather. So there's like a foraging aspect that I like. I like that. Like you can hunt now. You can hunt for food, and I'm like, any game that allows me to hunt and gather for things, and I can like make food, and I'm all for that. I'm all for that. And that's why I say that's this like the first Zelda, because I haven't really been in love with Zelda since Link to the Past and Link Between Worlds, because that's Zelda for me. Other
yeah,
people like not even like original Zelda, even though I have the gold cartridge. I played it. I kind of dug it, but I didn't really like it. My brother loves that game, and my brother and me had like when we were young, he came over and he was chastising me about like, oh, you didn't find this, you didn't find the ladder, you didn't find the warp whistle, you didn't
yeah.
find anything. I'm like, dude, I'm 8.
I don't give a fuck about.
I like pretty colors, whatever. I looked at him like, dude, I'm 9. How am I supposed to find all that crap?
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't know. So I was like, so I really went in there, but this is like the one game that this is a Zelda game that makes me love it. And what I liked though too was how Link just woke up. He was in a
Mhm.
shrine. He woke. It was like some Shadows of Colossus type shit. He woke up, and then it was like, okay, I'm up, and now I'm in this world. How long have I been asleep? What am I here for? Who is this voice? And I like that when he's like the great hero, and he's like almost like the Winter Soldier in a way. Like he went to sleep during times of peace, and now he's being awoken for a reason, and now he needs to uh take care of this problem again. I'm like, yeah, that's just
Yeah.
awesome. Like, yeah, give me that.
It's definitely.
Finally a Zelda story I can sink my teeth into. Like, yeah.
I mean, we can tell just from that trailer that it's got a lot more emotional impact than I've seen in Zelda in a long time. Like a
Mm-hmm.
lot of the in Zelda, a lot of the emotional onus usually
Mm-hmm.
belongs to you.
Yeah.
It belongs to you as a person, and when you're going through this Zelda, I mean, the characters, they feel stuff, but they don't really emote the same way. And when you
Right.
see Zelda collapsing into his arms, you
Mm-hmm.
can see that there's this there's emotional impact in this, and
Mm-hmm.
that hasn't been seen in a long time
Yeah.
for Zelda games.
Yeah, there was even a part of that trailer where he was like, what was it, like Zelda was bathing. I don't know if Zelda was actually bathing. I think it was just like it was like a bit of a scene where she was like in a pool,
Yes.
and it was just like, is she bathing? I don't. What's going on there? And I'm like, that's it. That's interesting. See, I'm not saying, could she probably couldn't be bathing. That could be me and my perverted mind, but it
Mm.
just was like, it was just cool to see those scenes like that because I've never seen scenes like that. I've seen scenes like that in other uh properties,
Yeah.
but I have not seen that in a Zelda game. So I thought that was kind of interesting. The whole, like, those dormant octopus uh golems, like the stone golems that, like, yeah, those the golems that spring to life when you walk across it, like, oh, you're walking across this thing, and then, oh, it's an enemy, and then you have to fight it. I'm like, yeah, that's cool, like like puzzle solving, like, oh, I gotta cross this gorge, and I have a tree, and there's trees here, let me chop the trees and cross, and then it falls across, and then you walk across it. And
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that kind of cool stuff. Like, oh, there's a loose rock, and there's some moblins down there. Let me drop it down there. I'm like, that's pretty nice. Like, triggering traps and throwing bombs in places, and like, that's what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. That's what we've been missing from Zelda. Like, the true exploration, problem solving.
Yeah. The physics on this look amazing. Just
Yeah.
you know, I mean, we've
Yeah.
seen a lot of it happen from the E3 trailer, but it's it's a reality. It's coming out in less than
Yeah.
2 months.
Yeah, it's like everything's, it's like what we saw was like the effects, like what we saying was like the physics and how things work and the exploration. This was just like pure, like, showing characters and races and shit kicking off. And like, oh, it's kicking off, like, I like that. I like seeing the action part of it. And there was voice acting in this. I don't
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, they're actually speaking. Most time they, like, it's like their Hyrulean language, air quotes, and
Yeah.
then it's like, you know, um,
Text,
text.
yeah. Text box experience.
Yeah, text experience. But that lady was speaking Japanese, and I was like, what? Like a little old lady. It was like a little old lady, and then it was like Zelda, and then there was like some other. There was some. I think it was, that big tree, like the Deku tree. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was speaking, and I was like, oh, okay, all right, I see where this is going. I'm liking it so far. I'm with it, and then it was like, again, this is when it was kind of going back and forth with Isaiah. It was like, when is it coming out? When is it coming out? And I was like, it's gotta be coming out. It's gotta be coming out when the console came out. It said March 3rd, and I was like, yeah, it's gotta come out around the time. They can't sell it the way they've been selling it, and it's not a launch game.
Yeah. If this wasn't a launch game, it would not have been a day one buy for plenty of people,
Yeah,
and it was
yeah, it was
wouldn't
it.
have.
Yeah, they Twilight Princess it. That's exactly what they did. They hit it like Twilight Princess. I knew they were gonna do it. Yeah.
But I gotta head out actually. Sorry.
Oh, no, it's cool. It's cool, man. We pretty much covered it. I think that's pretty much. Anything else you want to talk about?
Um, I'm really excited. This is not probably a day one buy for me, even though it hurts me. But I need a little bit more than I need a little bit more RPGs. Nintendo, you need to. I'm that guy. You just need to you give me a little bit more of something to play day one.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
It needs to be something more than just Zelda.
Yeah. Yeah. They'll eventually they'll come out. They'll come out with RPGs, but yeah, they'll eventually come out with
There.
RPGs. It's gonna be slow in between, but they'll come out with it. What I'm kind of looking forward to see beyond stuff Super Mario Odyssey, that is even coming out in freaking holiday of this year, last year, which is bullshit because because I'm probably gonna be like too busy playing like Red Dead at the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's the worst time to come out with a game when you coming out around Red Dead. So I'm gonna be playing Red Dead, and I'm not gonna be playing this. I'm probably playing this until about next year anyway,
Yeah.
till 2018. But yeah, excited about Breath of the Wild. Uh, some of the other games come out. like to see more stuff coming out, and yeah, I'm good with that. I think that would be it for me. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you everyone for watching this live coverage of the Nintendo Switch reveal from last night. We are very excited, and I know definitely 2017 is made a little bit better for having it, but probably going to be a little bit more broke. So,
Oof.
so
You and
much
me
stuff
both.
coming out. Jesus Christ. Oh man, so much. Oh, going to be so broke, and not in the ways you think we'll go broke. But anyway, we're not going to talk about that. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you want to see more videos like this, hit the subscribe button. Follow me on all of my social networks. And yeah, definitely remember to ring the bell so you can keep in contact with other future videos, live streams, live podcasts, and whatnot. Warren, you got anything to pimp out?
Oh, I'm writing still. My new book should be coming out sometime this year. Um, Follow me on Twitter at Warren D Books, and I should come up everywhere. Also, get to my website warrendalton.com.
Okay. Show the boy some love. And yes, thank you for watching. Have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, and good night whenever you watch this, as long as you watch this. And have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. Bye bye, y'all. Peace.